love to love her.
Let's talk about 2020. So this year actually started out really amazing. I went on a trip to Alberta. It was my first time flying on a plane since I was 6, first time alone ever. Also my first time going to Alberta, which is my favorite place so far. I'm so excited to live here, and it was just a dream come true to go and visit and see the college, get a tour, and hang out with some great people that I hope I will have friendships with once I do move there permanently. So unfortunately though, early in the year, my horse Nintendo also ended up bucking me off and breaking my rib. Here's just a little video of him having some fun. Not exactly the way I wanted to start our relationship, but I did end up getting a friend to come out and ride him while I was hurt, and he did get him going pretty nicely, so this gave me a lot of hope and excitement that he was going to be a really great horse. I do think he will be. And I did actually end up getting back on him myself, which is really nice because you always want to get back on after you get knocked down. And he was a good boy. This time I just walked him. I mean, I wasn't expecting a whole lot. So while our friend who was riding him was down here, we also went on a trail ride, and I actually got this awesome video. I just so happened to be videoing for a vlog, and this happened. So this was a training horse my sister had in, and clearly he wasn't a huge fan of trail riding, apparently. So back to Nintendo, I ended up sending him up to Alberta because he needed a surgery to remove a hernia. Thankfully, that surgery did go very well. This picture, by the way, that is not blood. That's actually just the soap they used to clean the surgical site, but surgery went great, so that was amazing. Back at home, I actually got to give a barrel racing demo to my old school, which is amazing because I got to see my old teachers and some old classmates, and I get to talk about the sport that I love so much and share it about it. The next day, I brought Dita to a barrel race close to home, and I was so excited for this year when we first started racing because she was feeling so good, best she ever has, and I was just so excited. I can't even begin to explain my excitement. And she, I think, either got second or won that race, I'm not really sure. And then we got the news that all rodeos in BC were cancelled because of COVID. So I had to go back to the drawing board and drastically change my plans. However, Dita was still working great. She was as fit as she has ever been. And then back to Nintendo. So I got news that he was in an incident with another horse. He got kicked, ended up breaking his leg. He needed to go in for surgery. So this is a picture of his leg during surgery, and then I also have a picture of the little bone chip they removed. He didn't break his leg, I guess. He chipped a bone, so there's the bone chip. Still wrench in my day. I was not happy about that. But in other good news, I ended up bringing home another off-track thoroughbred, Lord of the North. I'm sure if you've been following me, you see a little bit about him, but I was so excited to get this boy. I had loved him from the moment I met him. I also knew his dam and sire, who both lived on the farm that I worked at, where I did bring him home from. So just from day one, he was so easy, so laid back, and absolutely gorgeous. Just honestly a true gentleman. He was only 4 years old, but probably one of the easiest horses I've ever trained, especially being off the track. He just impressed me every single day. I did end up selling him to a hunter jumper barn, and I do see him occasionally. So, you know, a little happy ending story like that always makes me so happy to be able to be a part of. Back with Dita, I ended up taking her in a Riley McKenzie clinic, which is a really exciting thing that I was able to do that I wouldn't have ever been able to do if rodeos were on, because she would have been too busy, I would have been too busy, this arena wouldn't have been free this day. This was supposed to be the Little Bitches Rodeo Day, weekend, whatever. Second day of the clinic, I also took her into a race. And there's still a little bit of kinks that I wanted to work out. However, she did end up winning second here, which I was really excited about. And I love that in this run we were in a snaffle, no tie down, nothing. She felt amazing, and that's how I want it to be every single run. That's what I strive for. This year I actually picked up a couple new hobbies, so gardening was one of those. So I started my little garden, my first garden in my room, and I'm so excited that I got to start that this year because I know that that's going to be a hobby that I continue for many years to come. In the summer, in July, we headed off to Penticton for our annual family vacation to a little cabin on a little lake. So much fun. I love spending time with my family and seeing the beautiful mountains and the lake. It was really fun, despite me almost drowning in the canal, but that's another story. So back at home, I ended up taking Dita to a barrel race in Kamloops. This was such a special time because it felt like I was rodeoing even though I wasn't. And then also Dita had an amazing run, her first run ever in this arena. I was so amazed because it really made me believe that she was really going to be a great rodeo horse. Being able to go and lay down this run in an arena she's never been in with a little bit deeper ground. We actually ended up placing 8th out of over 200 riders. So I was so happy. I couldn't have been more proud of my mare this weekend. And I just always love spending time with her and my friends and family. This weekend, was probably the best weekend of my year, if I'm being totally honest. Dita won money. It was just so much fun altogether. And then back at home with my dog, continuing our agility journey. This is a sport I took up the end of 2019, but we've been continuing it, and my dog has just been getting so good. So it's something that I really love doing with her, exercise, spending time with her, just amazing. I took Dita in our next race, which is another one at our home arena. She actually ended up winning this race, so I think it was her first race that she had won in this arena, so that was super exciting as well. I mean, not the racing season I would have hoped for, but she still accomplished a lot, and she worked so hard, and we had so much fun together. Back to Kamloops. So this race, I knew something was a little bit up with Dita, and I didn't quite figure it out, but I came to the conclusion that she needs injections, so unfortunately that's something we're going to deal with before we begin barrel racing again. That's why we didn't barrel race a whole lot this year. But also at this race, I was able to spend a lot of time with my family. And this year, I ended up losing 2 family members who died in very both tragic ways, so it really makes you value the time you spend with your family, and that's one big lesson I learned this year. Hold those close to you closer. You never know when you will lose them. Back at home, at our last race of the season, I ended up winning 2nd in the series for the summer, so I was so proud of Dita for that, and the prizes we won were beautiful. In September, I actually went whitewater kayaking for the first time. Actually, first time I was in a kayak at all. So that was very fun, although, again, very scary. Saw my life flash before my eyes a couple times. After that, started my trip to Alberta, moving away for the first ever time. So exciting, such a big change in my life. It was really emotional because I was leaving my family, first one in my family to ever move away. If only they knew it would only be for 2 weeks. But I had my horse and my dog there, so it wasn't all bad. I did love the place. I absolutely adore that province. I also learned a lot about cooking, got to practice my cooking. Not only that, I got to do some canning, some cleaning and all that. But I did end up having to come home after some very unfortunate events, which again was extremely devastating and emotional and just not how I planned it. But everything happens for a reason, and that's truly what I've just been trying to tell myself. There's always a reason. But I got home right in time to see my mom's dog have her puppies, which was amazing, and watching them grow up and getting to be a part of their life is something I wouldn't have done if I didn't come back home from Alberta when I did. And who does not love cute puppies? Like, are you kidding me? They actually have all found amazing homes now, and I miss them, but that's just how it goes, I guess. And I'm just glad I got to see them at all because, again, wouldn't have been able to see them if I was in Alberta right now. and then continuing with my dog's agility, learning new equipment, learning new tricks, and she has just been picking up the cues and all the different obstacles really amazingly. I'm so proud of my dog, and also to just be our trainer and also learn about it at the same time. Here's Kaya doing some weaves. She's actually gotten a lot better at them now, but there's a good little example. She's such a good girl and I love her so much. So glad that I've been able to spend a lot of time with her. Okay, and then after I got back home, I also took an eyelash course, which is something I probably wouldn't have ever done if I hadn't come home either, and I ended up loving it, and it's a great way to make some extra money, and yeah, I never would have done it, but this year, after coming back home, I also got the opportunity to work with some horses that I wouldn't have been able to work with if I hadn't come home. So this mare, for instance, awesome experience. And then 2 more horses that I was able to start riding again that I had ridden in the past, but wouldn't have been able to ride if I didn't come back from Alberta. So that's really special as well. For Christmas, I spent it with my family, which I am so grateful for that I was able to be together with them. I also spent a lot of time with my dog and my horse. We just really connected without any expectations, really. And then also, presents are always amazing from all the people that I love, although I prefer to give them, but you know. The last day of 2020, I went to the zoo because I love animals, wouldn't you guess? And this peacock I took a picture of, and I really wanted a feather for my hat, which I thought would be cool, but there were none laying around, and I wasn't about to try to wrestle a peacock for a feather. Oh, 2020. So to recap, I think it's safe to say that this year has been very hard for so many people, not just me. I think everybody has had some really tough times this year. I know so many people who have had struggles, and although you cannot always choose what happens to you, you do get the choice of how you react to every situation. So I think it's so important to always look for the good, you know, look for the positive side, look for a silver lining, because even though it seems like, you know, sometimes there is none, you can always make something good out of a situation. Or just keep believing that there are better days ahead. Honestly, you have not even lived some of the best days of your life. You know, you never know when something amazing is going to happen. And although some days can get really ugly, life is a beautiful thing. And the amazing thing is that we're all in it together, and we're there, and we can help each other through it and show kindness. I think it is so important to show kindness to everybody, because you truly have no idea what they are going through in their own life, because so many people don't like to show that, the struggles. They only want to show the positive and the good things. So speaking of that we're all in this together, this is not as important to me as anything else in my life. I don't really care about being the most popular person. However, also in January I started TikToking, whatever, like everybody else. And I have gained almost 23,000 followers, so that's been such a cool, you know, different thing to do. And along with that, my YouTube channel, I've really been taking it seriously this year for the first time, and it has paid off because there are so many of you guys now that are supporting me and that are here together. And I want to say that I care so much for all of you, and if you are ever going through something, do not hesitate to let me know, and I would love to connect with you and be like a shoulder to cry on, I guess, virtually. Or if you need some advice, I know I'm not like the most all-knowing person, but I would like to help in any way, if there is any way that I can, with advice or whatever. So thank you so much for sticking with me through this year. It has been a crazy ride, but I mean, there's been a lot of fun and a lot of amazing things as well, and so I'm trying to embrace the good things that have happened and try not to think about the bad things as much, and just have hope for the future that this next year is going to be amazing, the best one yet. I mean, that's what I said about 2020, that was going to be the best year yet. Who knew, right? But I do feel like, I mean, I'm trying not to be too optimistic because I don't want to let myself down. But I do think 2021 will be a great year, and I hope that it will be for all of you guys. Never stop chasing your dreams and believing in yourself, because I do. You know, but I know there will also be struggles, and we will have to find ways through those and to cope. And I think this year has taught so many lessons. If not anything else, you know, if you can't get anything else positive out of 2020, hopefully it made you stronger, because I know it did me. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video. Go hug your horse.